Hello everyone, it's about time now, so let's begin today's webinar. Firstly, a very good evening and thank you for joining us today. Let me introduce myself first. I'm Vaishnavi Thakur, a master's student in the Department of Electrical Engineering and Information Systems from the University of Tokyo. Today I'm joined by Ms. Sakshi Verma, who is a sub-facilitator for today's webinar. So today's webinar is about studying and working in Japan. So it aims to promote education in Japan by motivating students to pursue higher studies. The University of Tokyo India office is organizing these sessions where experts from different universities across Japan will be providing information and guidance on various programs that are being offered in their universities. So Japan has the third largest economy in the world, and there's a huge demand for skilled professionals, and not forgetting the fact that it is one of the highest unemployment rated countries when we compare to the other developed G7 nations. So, but still many students prefer Western countries over Japan, and we believe that it is because of the lack of awareness of the wonderful opportunities and the quality of life here. So there are also various misconceptions like Japanese language requirement, tuition fees, and job prospects, and so on. So these webinars aim to bridge that gap and provide answers to these questions. If you have any queries, please post them in the Q&A portal, where we have a team of panelists and also the universities who will answer them for you. So the agenda for today is as follows. First, we'll have a brief introduction of these sessions by Ms. Sakshi, the Assistant Manager of University of Tokyo India office, and followed by various universities which are presenting today. So before proceeding with the webinar, I would like to request all panelists to turn off their audio and video when you are not presenting. And also please share the university details in the chat box. So without any further ado, let's begin today's webinar. So I would like to invite Ms. Sakshi, the Program Assistant of the University of Tokyo India office, to provide more details about the sessions.
Thank you, Ms. Vaishnavi. I just share my screen. I hope everyone can see my screen. So hello, everyone. Welcome to this webinar, Study and Work in Japan, Session 4. My name is Sakshi Roy, and this program is hosted by the University of Tokyo India office and is sponsored by MEX, Japan's Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports Science and Technology. So first of all, before giving you a brief information about this project in our office, I would like to thank all of you. It's my pleasure to thank all our expert panel members from prestigious Japanese universities who attended and contributed to this webinar series. So thank you everyone for your time and support. So we are the part of Study in Japan Global Network Project in Southwest Asia by MEX, and we provide information on Japanese universities. In order to provide awareness of higher education opportunities in Japan, we organize education fairs and seminars throughout India. So today we are here for session 4. We already had completed 3 sessions of this Study and Work in Japan webinar series. And these webinars are primarily intended to introduce you to some of the best Japanese universities. Today we are joined by representatives from 3 private universities and 1 national university. So in this online session, all of the universities will be discussing the English-based programs and scholarship opportunities available to them. So please listen carefully, and you can also ask your questions directly to our university representatives in the Q&A box. Okay, so this is just a brief idea about a number of higher education institutions in Japan. In Japan, there has been approximately 700 plus universities as well as specialized vocational institutions. Moreover, Japan is consistently ranked in the top 10 countries for education, and some of the Japanese universities have been ranked among top 500 universities in the world. So no doubt you learn from the very best in the world, and you will work with some most modern labs with great facilities. You can also learn Japanese easily if you live in Japan, and some of the universities also have preparatory Japanese language courses for international students who are enrolled in their program. So this is all about our office introduction. So this is the email address of our office. In case if you have any questions later after attending the webinar, please feel free to contact us. We would be very happy to help you with your queries. So thank you very much for listening to me. I request you all to please stay tuned with us till the end of the session. And I hope this webinar will provide you with a valuable and fruitful information about study and work in Japan. So thank you very much for paying attention. Please enjoy today's session.
Thank you, Ms. Sakshi, for providing the details. So now let's proceed with the universities. First, let me share the agenda slide. So first we have Keio University, Shonan Fujisawa campus. So Keio University, Shonan Fujisawa campus, which is also known as Keio SFC, is a research-oriented campus of the Keio University. This is located in the city of Fujisawa. And I need not specially mention about the background of Keio University because it is one of the topmost private institutes here with excellent collaborations with the other universities in the international field and also with the domestic universities. So today we have Professor Tatsuya Hagino and from the Faculty of Environment and Information Studies, and we are also joined by student Mr. Hideo Daikoku to give an insight about the university details and also about the student life. So let's proceed with the Keio University now. Over to you, Professor.
Thank you very much. Good evening or good afternoon. My name is Tatsuya Hagino of Keio University. Today, I would like to explain about our university as well as SFC, Shonan Fujisawa campus. Let's try for me to share the screen. I hope you can see my screen. Well, yes, this is a picture of a campus. It's in a beautiful surrounding us, and we are part of the Keio University. Today's topic is first about Keio University, because we are a big university. So I would like to explain about Keio University first. Then about our campus, Shonan Fujisawa campus. Strangely, we are saying campus name rather than the faculty name because we have two faculties we'd like to explain. So therefore, we are saying about the campus, SFC. So we shorten two twin faculties as SFC. Then we have something called GIGA program, which is specialized in the English course. So therefore, I would like to explain about the GIGA program. Then a little bit about graduate, if you're interested in going to the graduate school, we have graduate school, so media and governance. Then I will hand it to the Hideo about explaining the student life at SSC. So now, about Keio University. The Keio University actually distributed around Tokyo and the Kanagawa application. This is a part of the Tokyo. This is Tokyo. Japan is a larger big. And we have 6 campuses. Mita is our headquarters, and where the Keio University just actually started in about 164 years ago. And this is for mainly for humanities and sciences. And Hiyoshi, which is in the Yokohama campus, which is also very big, is for general education. And other faculty just somehow specialized to the certain research areas. Like Yagami campus is for science and technology. And we have medical areas in Shinanomachi in medicine, and Shiba Kyo is for pharmacy. And the last one actually is called SSC. We have 3 faculties, although I say twin faculty. Twins are Faculty of Environment and Information Studies and the Faculty of Policy Management. And we also have another one, Faculty of Nursing and Medical Care. I think we have this SSC. Those 6 campuses around Tokyo areas. And Keio University, founded actually in 1858, we are the first private institution of higher learning in Japan. In short, we are the first university in Japan. The Yukichi Fukuzawa is our founder. He's very famous. If you come to Japan, you won't miss him because he's on the face of 10,000 yen note. So you might use it every day. And this is the speech hall, public speech hall, first one in Japan, where anyone can come and talk about anything. So that's the freedom of speech, very important in a way in the Keio University. That's the founder. Since we are the private university, we are keeping his spirit up to now. So it's a little bit different from the public university, maybe. Public university created by government in various places, but private university somehow founded by somebody, and we need to keep his spirit. We have 10 undergraduate faculties and 14 grade schools covering various fields. let's see a little bit about it. I think no, we don't have any slides, yes. So the humanities and social science areas, or economics, business and commerce, and law, science and technology, and medicine, pharmacy, nursing. I think we are missing letters. We also have faculty letters, 10 undergraduate faculty. So various fields, if you're interested, you can come to Kyoto University to study various fields. And for the English program, we have economics English program, as well as the SSC English programs, which is GIGA, I'm going to talk to you about. And about the statistic, we have 33,000 students. Among them, we have 2,000 more international students studying now. And we have faculties of 2,500. Among them, we have foreign, of course, we have a lot of foreign professors. And for the student life, the Hideo will explain more about the real student life, but this is statistic. We have 500 more clubs and circles. So the various university activities you can enjoy after coming to Kyoto University. And this is the baseball. If you're serious about it, you can compete with other universities. Tokyo University, Waseda University, there are 6 baseball teams around Tokyo area. They are competing spring as well as fall. And if there is a baseball, then school is off. You can go to Jingu Baseball Stadium to join. And we are very famous about our alumni network called Mita Kai. Mita is a place where our main campus is, and Kai is a group, Mita group. And we have 800 or more Mita Kai in Japan. Every region and maybe every company has our Mita Kai. So if you join them, you can talk with the Mita Kai people. And if you have any problem, you can talk with them. And over the 160 years, there are a lot of graduates, 390,000 or more graduates. And we have the abroad Mita Kai as well, more than 70 of them. About achievement Kyoto University. QS World Ranking 2022, as well as 2019 tells us the Kyoto University is the #1 private university, Japanese university. Yes. Also, the QS Graduate Employability Ranking 2022 tells us ranked 56 globally in graduate employability. That means our graduates are doing very well. About the international activities, we have a lot of exchange programs like Brown University, Pennsylvania University, and so on. The more than 150 exchange programs, so that if you come to Japan, to Kyoto University, you may go to yet another university without paying any their maybe expensive fees, but just pay for the tuition fee for the Kyoto University. Then you experience 1-year exchange programs. Very popular in Japan and in Kyoto University. And now about the GIGA programs. GIGA actually stands for Global Information and Governance Academy Programs. And it is offered by the twin faculties in the SFC, Shonan Fujita campus, Faculty of Policy Management and Faculty of Environment Information Studies. And this is Shonan Fujita campus. Unlike other faculties, actually the students in those 2 faculties stay in the Shonan Fujita campus for 1st year to the 4th year. Other campus, mainly 1st year, 2nd year students go to the general education Kyushu campus, then move to their main campuses. But those 2 faculties, they stay in the 4th year in the same campus, which makes it very unique in a way, because you can study from you may be taught from the same professors from the beginning to the end. And also the master students or doctor students are there as well, so they will teach you as well. So the research activities, you can join from the very beginning just after getting into the SSC. SSC campus actually created in the 1990. Compared to the history of 160 years of the Kyoto University, it's quite young. It is created because we need to think about the future. The other campus somehow specialize in each research areas. But this one is actually created for the future. So they need, we thought we need to combine the various fields together to solve the problems of the future. That's the reason why we created SSC. Since I'm using a lot of time, so I don't go into the details more, but I would like to explain what SSC looks like. The curriculum structure, as I told you, everybody in the first year to fourth year in the same campus. Therefore, you can take any courses, some fundamental subjects, other advanced subjects. There's no grade boundary. There's no restriction for first year students to take the very advanced kind of economics or whatever subjects, if you are good at. Or in the fourth year, you may go back to the very beginning. If you're unsure about, for example, information technology, then you might go back to that kind of subject. And in the middle, there's something called seminar, which is will guide you what kind of study you want to do. And finally, you finish with the graduate project. That's a very curricular structure of SSC. Very flexible. You can build your own curriculum. And because of that, you can take anything. You can shorten your stay. 3.5-year early graduation system is possible. Or even bachelor and master course combined together within 4 years. And again, centered on the seminars. Seminars are operated by the professors, and each week you meet with the professor as well as the other students, as well as the master student or doctor student group together, and that will guide you your study, your research, whatever you want to do. They will tell you what you need to study or what you need to master and so on. And there are advanced fields like the Faculty of Environmental Information Studies covering design and media arts, or novel computing and computing system, advanced bioscience, environmental design, human environment areas, and the policy management areas covering policy design, social innovation, international strategy, business administration, urban strategy. A lot of modern kind of the problems are solved. The important is interdisciplinary education is very important. Also issue oriented, depending on the problems. You combine the things you study. One of them is, for example, the automatic car driving is now very popular now. It is by technology, information technology or AI or network or video recognition and so on. But what happens when car crashes? We need to know about the law, traffic law or insurance policy. We might think about the new law design and so on. So we need to combine not only the technology, but also social science issues. So that kind of study, you can do it in SSC. As well as, for example, this one, the collaboration, the Africa project, English professor went to the Africa to give the education there, but they didn't have a school. So she collaborated with the environmental design architecture to help to create the school itself and also the education and so on. Also, this person studied at the bioscience and wanted to have the spider's web artificially. This is the one. And he actually created a company called Spiber. So he combined his study, advanced bioscience, as well as the business administration and so on, to start a company to help the society or create a new employment. That's about the research areas. Tuition fees, not that much. The $12,500 we calculated, and compared to the other universities like private university USA or public USA, adding to the living cost, actually it's not that much. So why not come to Kyoto University for study? And we have various scholarships available. Next one, linear for up to 4 years, and all is covered. You don't need to pay anything if you got the next scholarship. Or we have Menta Mitakai scholarship, which is donated by our alumni. Also, Master Tada Kobayashi scholarship. This one is also donated by our graduate. And after that one is the available before you come to SSC, so that you can ensure your financial things before coming to Kyoto University. And after coming to Kyoto University, you can apply various one after one as well. Kyoto University one, next one, or other awarded entities. And for if you're interested in the accommodations, we have the special dormitory for international students. Recently, we opened the Shonan Fujisawa International Dormitory, and we are going to, in 2023, maybe when you are coming, we have a new village for the dormitories. next to our campus or connected to the campus, inside our campus. And for the application of the GIGA, it's very easy. No written test, no interview, no need to come to Japan. You just send your application and we'll screen. And for the application test score, the various test scores are accepted, IB or SAT or ACT, or English proficiency. If you are taught in English, you don't need to submit. But if you're not, you need to submit TOEFL and so on. And the other important document is, instead of the interview, you need to create 3 minutes presentation video, explaining why you want to come to SLC for study and so on. And the application deadline timing will be sometime in December to the January. It will be announced soon. And if you're interested, please keep in touch with us by looking at this website. If you may take a picture or whatever, it will go to our website of saying how you may apply. And about the graduate school, after graduate, if you still want to stay in the SLC, there are various things, advanced courses. There are 8 programs available in our campus or other campuses. A lot of you goes to the graduate school after graduation of the undergraduate. Now I'd like to move to the video about explaining to the student life, real student life. Leo.
Hi,
Yeah.
Can I have my camera turned on? I think the host can turn on my camera. Looks like there's some technical difficulties, but I guess I'll just proceed with my camera off. Oh, cool, great. Thank you. So I'm a graduate student at KOSFC, but I also started as an undergraduate at KOSFC in 2016. I'm part Japanese, part Indian. I was born and raised in Delhi, and then I moved to Japan in 2016. Next slide, please. So yeah, I graduated from high school. I lived in the US for 2 years, came to SFC in 2016, and in 2020, I started my graduate school here at the Graduate School of Media and Governance. And I'm actually supposed to graduate this month, fingers crossed. Next slide. So why Japan? Japan is, it's obviously got a lot of appeal in terms of, being just an incredible place to live. Literally right outside my house, there's a river flowing through. If I walk a little bit further, there's a mountain and a forest. During the springtime, it's full of cherry blossom. It's convenient, it's great. But there's no need to sort of sell that aspect of it. But I think the more interesting part of it is the amount of opportunity that there is in Japan to just grow and try new things. There's lots of companies willing to invest in you, and specifically in Indian people. I think I've found over the years that we have sort of a bit of an advantage in terms of people's perception and people's ability to give us a chance in trying new things and take a risk. Next slide, please. So SFC is full of a lot of open-minded thinkers. If you think about any real world problem, you can't just solve it from knowing one thing, right? If I were to go to any other traditional university, say, for example, if I studied just physics, I'd only be able to see the world through one lens. But what SFC allows you to do is combine many disciplines and apply them to real world problems. So in one of these slides is Mizuno Sensei, where I worked on a fashion design problem. But in fact, my field of research and everything I studied is very close to computer science. But the interesting part is we used AI and machine learning to develop a zero waste fashion product, which basically figures out what is the most optimal amount of clothing or fabric you need to create a cloth. So this is, using multiple disciplines to solve a single problem. And it's exactly the kind of thinking that we encourage at SFC. Next slide, please. My current research is in computational musicology. So I play music, and I also like studying and analyzing music. And I had a fabulous opportunity to be funded fully by a private company in Japan, which makes musical instruments. And, I was able to go to many conferences and also just do a lot of really, really good research. At the end of my master's degree, which is now, I've published about 5 papers, and 2 of them I'm a co-author on. So that's something sort of rare that even a master's student can publish a lot in this short amount of time. Next slide, please. Like I said, got to go to many different places, all fully funded for by SFC. Got to go to Thailand, Austria. I'll be heading to Portugal next week, and UK and France as well. Next slide, please. SFC has no shortage of job opportunities. Many of these job opportunities will actually come from SFC and KO's unique graduate network. A lot of my upperclassmen, people who my seniors in class, they've started really huge companies. The founder of Rakuten is from SFC. And I've got to work with all these amazing companies here on this slide, including Google and Panasonic, Fujitsu, and Mitsubishi, and right now even Niantic, the people who made the popular game Pokemon Go. Next slide, please. Yeah, so thanks for listening, and we look forward to seeing you at SFC.
So now we should answer some questions, or what?
Oh, yes, Professor. Thank you for such a detailed presentation, and thank you, Mr. Hideo Daikoku, for giving an insight to the students' life. So we can take a few questions from the Q&A portal. There's a student who wants to know, are there any entrance exams for the programs? So like you have mentioned, for the GIGA program, there is no entrance exam, right?
No, we don't have it. Somehow paper screen, I mean the application screening.
Okay, great, thank you. Also, in the undergraduate program, so how is the coursework and the research work divided for the students? Because usually in India, students are aware of the coursework in the universities. So in the bachelor's itself, how do you segregate the coursework and research work?
As I told you, the SSC is very flexible. So the actual research, you can start very early on. After one semester, you may join to the research seminar so that you may start with the research. And along with that, you do the coursework.
Okay, great. Thank you, Professor. Also, can students take integrated programs like an MBA along with other technical subjects like biotechnology or mechanical engineering? So is that possible?
In a way, you cannot take the MBA itself, but that kind of combination is possible. That is very encouraging in a way. Not only taking one just bioscience, to ask you to take the business transformation and combine them together. And that requires, for example, that Pfizer company, that person studied bioscience and actually created a company. Rakuten as well, maybe, the information technology, and created a Rakuten company. That's a great big shopping like Amazon in the world.
Okay, great. Thank you, Professor. Also, the next question is, what IB score is required to apply to the university? So what is the score range for the acceptance?
I don't have that statistic, or we not reveal that kind of statistical area, but don't worry, we evaluate as a whole.
Okay, great. Thank you. The next question is, I think most of the questions are in general questions which are covered in the webinar already. So the campus in Fujisawa it has both graduate school and an undergraduate school, right?
That's right. We have 3 undergraduate faculties and 2 graduate schools. Okay. We explained only 2 undergraduate and 1 graduate school, but actually we have 3 undergraduate and 2 graduate schools.
Yes, and you can also do your PhD and postdoctorate at our campus.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, I think most of them are the general questions, so we can proceed with the next university. So thank you very much for joining us today, Professor, and Mr. Hideo.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Professor, if you don't mind, can you please stop sharing the screen? Thank you. So let me share the agenda slide. So next we have the Kyoto University of Advanced Science. It is a well-reputed university in Japan, and when it looks back to a history of about 50 years, and it also KUS has recently invited a top-notch CEO of Kyoto-based globally successful firm as chairman, so that it can offer a high-quality academic resources. So more details about the university will be provided by Mr. Kyushi Takeda, the director of the international office.
Thank you very much for your kind introduction. Hello, everyone. Namaste. My name is Kyushi Takeda. I work at the Kyoto University of Advanced Science, Faculty of Engineering. And today, I'm very pleased to introduce our excellent and exciting engineering program to you. And the good news for you is that our program is conducted entirely in English language, not in a Japanese language. It means that you don't have to learn a Japanese language in order to apply for our programs. Again, as it is entirely conducted in English language for the benefits of English-speaking students like you or like you. So let me start sharing screen with you now. Okay, so I understand that I just realized that there seems to be many participants today who are interested in knowing more about the postgraduate programs. But let me try to focus my attention on our undergraduate programs in my presentation today. Today, I'd like to cover why Japan for your college destination, and why Kyoto, which is one of the most beautiful cities in the world, and Kyoto University's Advanced Science, followed by the KUS Faculty of Engineering specifically. And I'd like to discuss tuition fees and application procedures and contact details. So why studying in Japan for future engineers? If you take a look at these statistics, you may be surprised, because Japan, it's been projected by 2030 there will be 790,000 future engineers. So in other words, that first-class Japanese companies, technology firms, and mechanical engineering, all sorts of engineering fields are those firms and companies always look out for talented, qualified engineers in every sector of the engineering in Japan. So let me emphasize that because of this, that now is the best time to think about Japan, come to Japan, apply for a Japanese university like ours, to complete an engineering program to become full-fledged engineers to work for the Japanese companies as engineers. Let me discuss our beautiful city, Kyoto. Kyoto was the capital of Japan for 1,000 years. And because of this, there are dozens of national cultural treasures located in Kyoto. So literally on a daily basis, you can see all these beautiful shrines, temples, castles as students on our campus. And not only that, for engineers, it's very important to see that Kyoto is the hub of the technology firms. For best example is Nintendo that produces Pokemon, Animal Crossing, or Mario's, and actually headquartered in Kyoto. Not only Nintendo, there are so many fascinating technology firms headquartered in Kyoto. This is important because these companies can be your job opportunities after you complete our engineering program for engineers. Let me discuss the Kyoto University of Advanced Science, KUAS for short. It started in 1969, 53 years ago. It's government accredited private university, means that any degree that you earn at the KUS can be transferred to any institutions in the world, in the UK, in the US, and Australia, in New Zealand, wherever you go. It's located in Kyoto Prefecture, which is in the middle of Japan, and located in a convenient tree in the middle of Japan with great access to two international major cities that has international airports like Osaka, Tokyo. It has 3,600 students and it offers programs at 5 faculties, including a brand new faculty of engineering. And then we are so proud to introduce one of our current engineering students at KUS engineering schools, Shin Viraji. He went to a DPS in New Delhi, and he achieved more than 93% at CBSC. He turned down the offer from the University of Alberta even with a 50% tuition waiver because he really wanted to KUS. Let me also introduce one of our excellent female students currently at KUS engineering schools, Nishta Rana Devi. She is an Indian American. She was accepted at the George Mason University, also Virginia Tech, also Hokkaido University, which is one of the most prestigious universities in Japan. But she turned down all the offers because she really wanted to come to a KUS engineering school. In fact, we are so proud to share with you that KUS engineering schools are now seeing a soaring number of Indian students who applied for us and accepted at KUS engineering schools. Back in 2021, we only had 3 students who were accepted at the KUS engineering schools. But in 22 in September, now there are as many as 10 students who were accepted at our engineering program. You may be wondering about the quality of our engineering education. Let me share with you this great news that KUS is university partner with Ohio State University, which is ranked number 17 in the World College ranking, and also Tufts University, which is also one of the fascinating universities in the US. Also, KUS partner with the Seoul National University, which is the most prestigious university in South Korea. Also, University of Technology, Sydney, because both KUS and its partner recognize each other as providing the highest quality of engineering education. Means that you can expect the same highest quality of engineering education at KUS engineering school that you would expect from these world's finest university. So what we do on our engineering program, it's very interesting to see what we do is the combination of computing and data processing and mechanical engineering, electrical engineering. Let me re-emphasize that we do a combination of all these essential engineering expertise on the same program. Unlike universities in India, you don't have to choose one of them. Actually, at KUS, you are supposed to cover all of these in order to be successful as an engineer after completion of our program in the real world engineering world. After graduation, as a graduate from KUS engineering, you may be interested in developing robots that are controlled by artificial intelligence. Maybe you may be interested in developing drones that is more sophisticated current ones that you have, but that we have throughout the world. Or simply you may be interested in developing a more sophisticated software programs that helps people or addressing daily needs. Or you obviously then there is so many people, the majority of people now decided to switch switching driving gasoline cars to electric cars. And you may, as a graduate, as a KUS graduate, you may be interested in developing more energy efficient electric cars as a professional engineers. And the professors, actually, we have a 40% of our professors that comes from overseas, like Dr. Ian Pimuter, as you see here. He used to teach, he used to work as a senior executive at the Hewlett-Packard, and in Paris and in California. Now he came over to Japan, and specifically to teach at KUS engineering schools in the fields of metaprogramming, reconfigurable system, and embedded in IoT technologies. Another professor who's prominent at KUS, Dr. Zilu Liang, and she has a strong background in the data tracking, tracking health, and data collection, data analysis. And if you are interested in developing more sophisticated software programs, she's going to be a great academic mentor for you at KUS. And the culmination of our program is the KUS unique industry placement curriculum, which is called Capstone Project, which is stretching over 2 years, not just 2 days, not 2 weeks, over 2 years. What you do on a capstone project, actually, you are having opportunities as a student to work closely with the professional engineers who now currently work in the industry. You go and visit them to learn about the issues that they face as a professional engineers. Now you are supposed to develop your own solutions for their problems, issues, for feedback, and for presentations. So by doing this over 2 years, working closely with the professional engineers over 2 years, you be proficient at developing your practical skills and also practical knowledge even before you actually go out in the world. Besides the Capstone Project, that provides you a very unique opportunity to develop practical skills in the fields of engineering, we do run a very strong internship program also. You can do an internship in US, Singapore, Holland, Thailand, almost everywhere in the world by taking advantage of KUS Worldwide Industrial Network. And also, I'm more than happy to share with you that KUS commitment for diversity because the KUS aims for 50% ratio of male and female students. Currently, our engineering schools has a 22% of female students out of a whole engineering school whole population. But we are not satisfied with it because we want our future goals set at increasing this number from 50% of female students and also male students. So I highly encourage the female students to think about, to consider KUS and apply for KUS engineering schools. We are so committed to increase diversities in terms of gender. Let me talk about the tuition at KUS at $14,000 per year, and which is obviously at the most affordable levels, even by world standards when compared to other countries like UK, US. And the entry requirements are comprehensive, given the nature of any engineering programs throughout the world. And we also like to have students to require any applicants to have a comprehensive understanding of physics and math. And here's an application documents for KUS engineering schools. Number 1, ID photo, number application essays, transcripts and certificates and then graduation. Number 5, I'd like to draw your attention to here. You can apply for our engineering program if you have predicted results either in the state board or CBSE or even international baccalaureate. So if you, as long as you have either one of them for predicted results, you can apply, you are eligible to apply for KUS engineering schools. Number 6, evidence of English proficiency. And number 7, one letter of recommendation from your teacher, one of your teacher or student counselor, maybe principal, school principals. Number 8, passport copy. So here's an admission criteria for our engineering program. Yes, we would like to also have students who have a strong GPA in high school and also good track records in physics and math. And also we'd like to have students who are very, we show the notable or test scores in the state board or the CBSE, international baccalaureate, or other standardized tests like ACT. And also we would like to have a strong determination, students who have strong determination to pursue studies at KUS. Yeah, here's an important application timelines for September 2023 intake. For that, we have multiple application windows this year in 2022. Our early entry will start on October 3rd in the 2023, which is just 3 months away. So if you were keen on applying for KUS, I'd highly recommend you to organize your application documents even now to be in time. And also we have a regular entry that will start on December 1st. We have a final entry that will start on February 13th and 2023. Again, these entry windows for September 2023. Yes, I understand that there's a great interest among the interested students in our scholarship program. Yes, we do also have an KUS scholarships for best qualified students. We take a holistic reviewing process to make our decisions on your scholarship levels, meaning that we don't have any single criteria to make our decision on your scholarships. No, we don't. And please be informed that we make decisions again by taking holistic approach taking every single factor about you into careful and close consideration. That's a dormitory. Okay, before I wrap up my presentation, here's a student testimonial on Indian American students at KUS engineering schools, Mr. Rana Devi.
Hello, my name is Nishita Rana Devi, and I'm currently a first-year student at Kyoto University of Advanced Science. I chose KUAS for the Capstone program, where we get to gain many real-world experiences while we are still in college. I also like this program's focus on mechatronics, which is a combination of mechanical, electrical, and electronic engineering. I also chose KUAS because I really wanted to live and study in the beautiful city of Kyoto. My favorite thing about KUAS so far has been that I got to meet and work with people from all over the world. I've learned a lot about the various cultures and lifestyles of my classmates from other countries. I encourage you to apply and get the chance to broaden your perspective of the world. Through this program, you will also gain many unique experiences that will help you confidently find the right career. Thank you, and I hope to see y'all soon on campus.
If you are interested, you are more than welcome to contact us, either typing, Googling KUS engineering, or you can use this specific email address, admission@kus.ac.jp, to contact us directly with your questions, Or alternatively, if you feel more comfortable about contacting the Indian representative for KUS, let me introduce Megumi Paul, Managing Director at Focal Ed, University Admission Support Companies. Megumi Paul, she was born in India. She migrated in Japan. So culturally, she understands both cultures very well. So she can be a great mentor for your college choice and college selections like ours. Megumi Paul, here's the Megumi Paul's email address, megumipaul@focaled.com, second floor, Universe Plaza, 20 Seki Road, Bangalore, or phone number 918073773024, 918073773024 for free consultation. You won't be charged. You won't charge anything for anything. Thank you very much for your kind attention. I'd let the floor open to your questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Takeda, for such a detailed presentation and also providing all the information required for the admission. Let's look into the Q&A portal now. KAUS is mostly about, is there any civil engineering program? Because from the presentation, we have seen that it's mainly focused on electrical, electronics, and computer science and mechanical. So is there any civil engineering program?
Is there any, engineering program?
Civil engineering program.
Oh, civil engineering. Unfortunately, that's not our specialty. Sorry about that.
Okay, great. So once the students come to Japan, so how do they get accustomed to the life here? So are there any special facilities for them in KUAS?
Okay. Two things. Yes, linguistically, we are running a very strong Japanese language program for the benefits of the international students who don't speak Japanese. You may be surprised, this isn't actually a part of our regular engineering programs, curriculum. So linguistically speaking, you won't have anything to worry about because of that. And also culturally, we do have international dormitories, multiple international dormitories where you can mingle with the Japanese speaking students and also international students also. So culturally, on a daily life, you won't have anything to worry about either.
Okay, great. Thank you. So there's another question which says, how do universities prepare students for the work life? So for that, I would like to add in the KUAS University, especially, you have a collaboration with the company in the end of the third or fourth semester, right?
Yes, exactly. So unlike universities in India, even in third year and the fourth year, we're gonna prepare you very well for the work life even after graduation by putting you in an opportunity, having you in an opportunity, or providing you the opportunity to work very closely with professional engineers while in college.
Yes, great. Thank you, Mr. Zakir. And also, is the curriculum mostly course-based or is it a research program?
Course-based, and also research-based and project-based. I should emphasize. So a lot of current Indian students are on our program, and they really enjoy being in a team, and working in a team, and working on the same project with a team in a team. You can really expect excellent, exciting opportunities with us.
Yes, thank you. And there's one question about the English qualification requirement. So is it compulsory to submit the TOEFL score or IELTS score?
Two things. If you have been taught over 3 years in English for the past 3 years, you can be you don't have to submit English standard test scores at all, which is an example waiver, which can consider to be waiver. But if it's not the case with you, you need to take one of the standardized tests to submit your scores to be eligible.
Okay, and there's one more question, Mr. Takeda. So is machine learning also taught in the master's program? Is it like a course or a project?
Yes, masters. Yes, we do run a master's and postgraduate program also for masters and then PhD, which is based on research based, not the curriculum based.
Okay, so do they target machine learning and artificial intelligence or such?
Oh, yes, yeah. It all depends. It all depends on how you find a good match supervisor in our professor list.
Mm-hmm.
I hope this makes sense to you.
Yes. Thank you. So mostly the research-based programs, usually the flow is first you contact the professor, and then once you get the acceptance, then you can go to the university. So that is how the flow is. So it's similar here as well. Okay, thank you, Mr. Takeda. And there's one. Let's take one last question. It is about biotechnology. So does KUAS have adequate labs and facilities for it?
Biotechnology?
Yes.
But unfortunately, that's not our specialty. Ours more like robotics, which entails computer science, mechanical and electrical engineering.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Takeda. We can end our Q&A session here. Thank you for your assistance and answering the questions. Let's proceed with the next university. Let me share the agenda slide. So now we have NUCB Undergraduate School. So for more than 80 years, NUCB has led a way to be a premier educational institute. So they also provide an innovative approach to teaching through case studies, case methodologies. I find that there are many questions about the MBA program. So this is one of the schools which targets the MBA and BBA programs. So to give more details about the university, I would like to request Mr. Freddie Masson, the Assistant Director of Marketing and Admissions team, to explain more details about the university.
Thank you very much for the kind introduction. Let me go ahead and share my screen. So yes, we are offering the BBA and the MBA. Sadly, my presentation will focus on the BBA, but I'm happy to try and answer any questions if there are students here that perhaps want to pursue their MBA in Japan. Let me just tell you a little bit about NUCB. We are a private institute. We have over 80 years of history. Within the organization, we have a high school teaching the IB diploma. We have a boarding school that's opening this year on the main campus at the undergraduate school. What I'm focusing on today is the bachelor programs. We have 2 campuses, 3,000 students, originally starting from 1953. And then, of course, we do have the graduate school. We have in Tokyo, Osaka, Nagoya, and we offer the English taught Master of Business or the MBA for those that have sufficient work experience. But as I mentioned, I'm going to focus on the bachelor. Here you can see the offerings that we have. So a BBA, the BSc, and the BA. And we offer the global BBA taught entirely in English. In terms of our accreditation, we are the only triple accredited school in Japan, obtaining EQUIS in 2021. All of the accreditation boards look for different things within the university, whether that be faculty-led, research-led, focusing on our mission. But you can see that, AACSB comes from the US, AMBER from the UK, and EQUIS being a European body. We first obtained AACSB in 2006. There's currently 6 schools in Japan that also have that. In 2009, we got the AMBER alongside APU. And just recently, we got EQUIS alongside Waseda. But actually, those that have all 3 accreditations, they're only 1% in the world. We became the 111th. The graduate school, for those that are interested, is very highly ranked. We are the only school ranked by the Financial Times. We're #1 in QS rankings for executive MBA. So if you do have any questions, I'll be happy to help if I can. In terms of our organization, you can see where our faculty come from their final studies. Actually, over 70% hold a PhD, and we have faculty, whether Japanese, non-Japanese, that have gone on to Harvard, Stanford, Oxford, etc. Location-wise, for those that have not been to Japan, we are in the center of the country. We've heard from Tokyo today and Kyoto, which is nicely placed on this map. So you can see we're in between both of those. It's the 4th largest city in Japan. It's a little bit quieter, known for obviously Toyota, but I think students enjoy the fact that it's a little bit cheaper. It has great access. So for those that do like to travel, we have one of the world's top 10 airports as well. So here we are. This is our main campus in Nishin. Size, we use the 1.5 times the size of Tokyo Disneyland, just to give you some size of aspect. I like to show some of the facilities on campus just to show how modern we are. Here you can see, the library. We have a bookstore, 7-Eleven on campus, which our students love, cafeteria, lots of meeting spaces for students. We love our architecture. And in the bottom right, you can also see the school buses that run throughout the campus to local stations. And we also have clubs and circles, not just sports. So circles would include things like dance clubs, meeting with Japanese students on campus, golf clubs, driving clubs. There's something for everyone. And we highly encourage that for students to take part in their student life. So in terms of the BBA, I mentioned it's taught in English. Each year we bring in approximately 200 international students from over 37 different nationalities. Actually, for full-time students, Indian nationals are #1. I know the BBA is well known, and the employability from that is well respected in India. So yeah, we have students coming from Japan, from some of the Indian schools here, international schools, as of course from overseas as well, but just to show how diverse we actually are. So the BBA is a 4-year program. There are options for exchanges and double degree. There is a chance for a specialization in the 4th year, but in general, the BBA is a fixed curriculum for you to understand all of the components that actually make a business successful. Now, I believe the main reason that students choose us, aside from our wonderful facilities and beautiful campus, diverse students, is actually the way that we teach. We are 100% case method. And if you haven't heard of that before, this slide kind of gives you an insight of what it means, is that, first of all, the student has to do a lot of independent research, preparation, reading a case study about a company. They come to campus and we put them in small groups so they can get to share their ideas, build their confidence to know what they're going to say once they get into that large group of the classroom. And then the professor himself or herself will lead students into what the learning outcomes should be. So it's not a lecture style at all. Here you can see an example of what the classroom would look like. You can also see some of the companies that you would be learning from, which I'm sure you're all quite familiar with. And you can see where the cases themselves come from. We partner with the schools at the bottom there. So very practical learning, but it also requires a very specific kind of student that would enjoy this style of teaching that may be a little bit different from high school. So assessment-wise, there are no final exams. Actually, a lot of the weighting on the grades comes through things like report writing and most certainly participation, sometimes as much as 50%. Our schedule of teaching and the holidays are also quite unique to NUCB. Most students have one class per day that lasts for 200 minutes. One class itself lasts for 7 weeks. This is the term system that we use. And there you can see Japanese language is built in for those that would like to study. And you can also see the periods. So for those that start in the fall, you start in September, you run through to January, which is then winter break. So January through to April. It's an extremely long winter break. We encourage students to do things such as internships, exchange programs, language study throughout that time. The curriculum you can find on the website of NUCB, but for those that would like to see all of the courses from year 1 to year 4, this is a good opportunity to take a screenshot, but it is on the website and I'll share some links later. But you can see that it's built in a specific way, that in year 1, we have lots of introductory courses. We move on with liberal arts courses, and then as the years progresses, we go into more depth. So there are no prerequisites from your high school in terms of if you've studied, you know, a commerce stream, for example, or if you've taken the IB diploma and you must take a higher level economics. It's built in a way that every student can succeed, and we are quite specific on the students that we choose for the case method. We have lots of opportunities off campus. We also enjoy the fact that students can get to meet, you know, 200 international students every year. So it's a good chance for them to explore Japan and learn about Japanese culture. We do have the exchange programs that currently we have 120 partner schools across 52 countries. And in effect, students can do 2 additional schools to NUCB through the exchange program and not pay any additional fees for tuition. Here you can see some of the example schools that we partner with. Certainly North America may be of interest. Schools like Ivy Business School, Alberta, York University. Most recently, Oceania, we partnered with Monash in Australia and Otago in New Zealand. We're very strong in Hong Kong. We go through to Europe, you know, Maastricht, Koch in Turkey, St. Gallen in Switzerland. Some of the European schools here, maybe in France, are very popular for some of our students. EDEC, for example, a very highly ranked university. We also have the double degree, sometimes called a dual degree, so a 2+2, most commonly, where you do your first period with NUCB, make sure you've got your attendance and GPA. You then fly off to another country, France, Ireland, or Taiwan, complete your degree there and get actually 2 diplomas within a BBA. Our success rate of employability at the undergraduate level across all of our students is just over 98%. Like was said earlier, there is a program for all of our students from year 1 actually through to year 4 to help them with their final place after graduation. In terms of tuition, so the 4-year tuition is just over 4.5 million Japanese yen. You can see the conversions there, 32,000 euro, 33,000 US dollars, or just over 2.6 million Indian rupees. There is an entrance fee that all Japanese universities require that is in addition to that. Here's our estimates of living costs, so rent, food, daily expenses. We do have the dormitories available. We have over 600 rooms for our students, mostly single. They are furnished. They're extremely affordable. You can see the monthly rent here, about $200. And there are scholarships available for that as well. We also have a boarding school where there are opportunities for students to become mentors for the high school students, where they would receive free rent for that part-time work. Application is entirely online. We have entrance 2 times per year, so the spring being April and the fall being September. Nationality blind, so regardless of nationality, everyone follows the same system. We have rolling applications, so almost once per month, there is a period for students to apply. English proficiency, seems there's a lot of questions here. There are a number of tests that we accept, including Duolingo. I mentioned before, there are no prerequisites, just to be scheduled to graduate from a 12-year education history, which typically means going through to senior high school. There are 3 essays to apply to NUCB, a letter of recommendation. We would have an interview, which is obviously online, with 2 of our professors, as well as a written exam to test your critical thinking. There are plenty of scholarships available post pre-entrance, which is announced with the acceptance letter, such as a MacBook Air, such as reduction on the tuition, such as for those that are doing the IB diploma that get 32 points or higher, in addition to the dormitory scholarship. And then we also have things such as JASO from the government, local scholarships, as well as from NUCB post-entrance. So thank you very much for your time. Here are some details you can find us. So the email address intl_adm@nucba.ac.jp. I am the Assistant Director of Admissions. So any application or any queries would come through to me. I'd be happy to answer any questions if I may. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor, for such an insightful presentation. And many of the students usually ask about BBA and MBA programs. I'm sure this presentation is very useful to them. So let's look into the Q&A portal. There's a question which says to provide more details about the NUCB High School. Are you aware of it?
Yes, so we have a high school teaching the IB diploma. We also have the boarding school that opens this year, September, starting from grade 10. I don't know so much, but I would be happy to put you in touch with the admissions team. If you have any questions, I'll put my email in the chat just in case you were not able to get it as well.
Okay, thank you, Professor. The next question is NUCB only for management, or are there any other technical courses?
It is sadly only a business school, hence the name. We do have an international studies department, but that's mainly for Japanese students that want to improve their English skills. So for those that already speak English, it would not be a worthwhile degree.
Okay, great. Thank you. The next question is there any experience required for MBA program?
Can you repeat that question, sorry?
Is there any experience required for MBA program?
Yes, so for the MBA, I think the average age is 30 to 35, and you do need a minimum of 3 years work experience. So I mentioned in the beginning of the slide the accreditations that we hold, and they're quite strict. So alongside relevant work experience, because a lot of the student body are executives or of quite high level companies, you also have to take the GMAT test. So for the MBA, like I said, I'm not a specialist, but the MBA for those that have significant work experience would need to take the GMAT. There is a very friendly admissions team. There's a web chat function available on their website if you wanted to just reach out with them and hold a quick conversation over Zoom. Okay.
Thank you for answering that. And the next question is about the dormitory facilities. So can you provide more details about it? Like, what are the living expenses, and also?
Okay, so this is our estimated living costs. So per year, we would convert that to 580,000 Indian rupees. And that would cover everything from rent, food, and daily expenses. That is a medium range from surveying all of our international students. It can, of course, go below that. It can go above that, depending on your activities. In terms of the dormitories, this is what they would look like. Okay, we have locations close to campus. You can see there, 7-minute, 10-minute bus. We have something a little bit closer to downtown. But we also have the scholarship, which is about 30% from the rent. And that is announced alongside the acceptance letter. That's guaranteed for 1 year. That's available for all 4 years as long as you maintain attendance and GPA.
Okay, thank you. Yes, so the next question is about, is there any executive MBA program in the university?
There is, but it's in Japanese. So the MBA is taught in English.
Okay. I think we can end the Q&A session here, Professor. Thank you. Thank you for assisting in answering the questions. I'm
Thank
sure the student might have found the presentation very useful. So if you have any further doubts, you can look up the links in the chat box and get in contact with the university representatives. Thank you. Now let's proceed with the next presentation. So now we have Kyushu University. So Kyushu University is one of the topmost universities in Japan, and it has maintained its long history and tradition of education and research into one of the Japanese core comprehensive universities. So it has also got various international collaborations, and it houses well-known laboratories. And I know some excellent students from my university as well who go to the Kyushi University for their research work. So without any further delay, let us invite the associate professors, Mr. Kohei Higashikawa and Ms. Mika Tamura, to present more details about the Kyushu University.
Thank you for the introduction. So my name is Kohei Higashikawa from Kyushu University. So let me share my screen. Okay, I hope you can see this screen. Then let me start. Then actually, our presentation is composed of 3 parts. So I, Higashikawa, will introduce university itself and also one graduate school. Then next professor will introduce undergraduate programs in engineering. Then we also invite a student. So he is from India and he graduated from this undergraduate program and now a student of this graduate school. So this is the appearance of our campus. Actually, this campus relocation is completed in 2018. So, I mean, this is very new campus. And actually, this campus is the biggest campus in Japan. And the appearance is like this. We call this as Ito campus. Then such Ito campus and our university, Kyushu University, is located in Fukuoka City. Then Fukuoka City is located the west side of Japan here. Then actually Fukuoka City is known as a gateway to Asia like this. And you can enjoy city area and also nature in Fukuoka City with relatively low living cost. Actually, Fukuoka is one of the world's most livable cities. And I also love Fukuoka City. So the strong point of Kyushu University is like this. Actually, this is a traditional university founded in 1911 and one of the premier national 7 universities. And a large-scale comprehensive university with over 18,000 students. And our university is ranked within world's top 0.5% and very low student to faculty ratio of 9:1. This means that one professor, so 9 students per 1 professor or 1 staff. Then we have foreign partner universities up to 130 universities. And actually our university is famous for world-class research, especially on hydrogen, fuel cell, nanoscience, and biotechnology. And we have 18,000 students, but inside this, the foreign student number is like this 2,300. So ratio is relatively high. So we would like to welcome you. Then I want to explain about one graduate school, which I am belong to. So this is graduate school of ISEE. ISEE means Information Science and Electrical Engineering. Like that, our graduate school is composed of 2 departments, and you can learn about information science together with electrical engineering. And this is a rare case that you can learn both information science and electrical engineering, and this is a good point by Kyushu University, and we call that concept as I and E. Then this graduate school has 2 departments. One department is information science and technology. Then if you enter this course, you can choose one of these. So information architecture and security course, or data science course, or artificial intelligence and robotics course. Then another department is electrical and electronic engineering. And if you choose this department, you can choose one of these courses. So one is devices and systems for information course, or devices and systems for energy course. Then all the students will join a research laboratory. For example, if you choose the Department of Information Science and Technology, you will join one research laboratory, which is organized by our professors. Then such topic is listed here. For example, string data processing, automated reasoning and intelligent system, multi-agent systems, neuroimaging and neuroengineering, natural language processing, cognitive science, data mining, computation theory, 3D multimedia software, computational science, system on chip design, mobile communication systems, software language, embedded and ubiquitous computing, real-world information robotics, human interface, search engine and text mining, advanced internet technologies, computer architecture. Like that, each professor research about these topics, and every master course student join such research laboratories. Then this is for another department, electrical and electronic engineering. That research topic is listed here. For example, optoelectronics device, bioelectronics device, magnetic functional devices, plasma nanosystem, organic electronic device, instrumental engineering, system design, micro nano electrostatics, green electronic circuits, applied superconductivity. So actually my research areas here, applied superconductivity and superconducting sensing system, and laser and electromagnetic energy, and a very large laser system. Then if you are interested in our graduate school, so actually the enrollment is next year, October. Then the application starts November this year. Then actually you need to take examination next year, January. And this is for global course. So global course is done by only in English language. So actually, this is the last slide from me. So please just Google ISEE. Then you can reach this website. So I want to turn over the presentation to another professor, Professor Tamura. So thank you very much.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Mika Tamura, and I'm one of the associate professors of Kyushu University. And also I'm coordinator for international undergraduate program at the School of Engineering. So today I'm going to introduce about this special program called international undergraduate programs in English at the School of Engineering. Oh, by the way, I got a question about like if School of Agriculture offers English-based program. Yes, they do. Okay, they have the similar course called International Undergraduate Program. All right, so let me start. Oh, okay. So here, like at the School of, in our university, we have a lot of international students, but this program is really special because we are teaching only in English, so which means we have quite diverse students. So here you can see, this is actually a group who graduated quite long time ago, but then you can see the faces of like a student from many nationality, and you can see some Indian students. So yeah, so today one student will share the testimonials, but we have quite a few Indian students in our program too. All right. So at the School of Engineering, we are offering 4 English-based programs: Electrical Engineering and Computer Science program, Applied Chemistry program, Civil Engineering program, Mechanical and Aerospace Engineering programs. Okay, top 5 reasons to choose IUP. So education by top professors and research with leading scientists. So Kyushu University is a research-oriented university. So even undergraduate students can have their own research project, and they can belong to like advanced research group, and they can conduct their own research as a member of a laboratory. Then study in English and learn Japanese. So all actually courses are taught in English except Japanese language course. So you can actually study Japanese language for 4 years up until graduation. And it's a special program. So actually we don't have many students in this program, only 4 to 6 people in one course. And in total, we have about 20 students every year. So you can see that it's a special program. Then students are coming from all over the world, and they're like coming from top science schools or some international schools with Cambridge curriculum or Ivy schools. And we have a lot of international collaborative learning opportunities across disciplines. Right. So it's 4 years bachelor's program. Then first 1 year and a half is called Kikan education program. And during that time, students will study liberal arts subject and science core subject. And from second year and second semester of second year, students start their specialized education. And later, I think our student will explain details, but then they start studying in the smaller group and study their specialized courses. Then in the final year, all students belong to the laboratories. Okay, this is just one example from one course, Applied Chemistry. So these are the example of the classes offered. Then in the final year, you can choose a research topic of your choice and join the laboratory of your choice. Okay, so okay. Then you may wonder what will happen after you graduate from Kyushu University. Actually, your future is quite bright, and Kyushu University is a research-oriented university. So more than 80%, 80 to 85% of the students continue to study in graduate schools, either in Japan or in like overseas, like in Europe or USA. Then you can see the list of the universities here. So some students go to, continue to study in Kyushu University, but then some go to University of Tokyo or Kyoto University each year. And university in Europe and USA, we have many students who went to top university like in the world. So then you can see the list here. Okay. Then prominent alumni, if I introduce one person, it will be Dr. Koichi Wakata. He's an astronaut. He graduated from our university, of course, and he's the first Asian commander of International space stations. And he's almost 60, but he's now on the mission again. So he's really extraordinary person. All right, you may wonder how to apply and also scholarship opportunities. So let me briefly explain. Our admission procedures for 2023, will start in January next year, okay? So during that time, please submit the necessary documents for applications. And so we will conduct a preliminary screening based on the submitted documents. Then for the secondary screening, we conduct interview. You don't have to come to Japan, but we can take an interview from your home, okay? So then let me explain about tuition fee structures. And Kyushu University is national university. So tuition fee is comparatively lower. So then this is amount, this is one-time enrollment fee, and annual tuition fee is usually this amount. But our program is special program. So now we are giving 50% waiver to all students who applied for our programs. Okay, we are offering 3 kinds of scholarship. One is special mixed scholarship. Kyushu University is selected by Japanese government, so we can offer full scholarship from Japanese government. So you can receive, you don't have to pay anything to our university, then you can receive this amount for 4 years. Then if you're not selected, don't worry, Kyushu University is offering our own scholarship, and this is this amount for 1 year, but every year there's screening, so student can continue to receive this scholarship. Then another one is from JASO, 6 months, and this is the amount, but then several students can receive it every year. Okay, I'd like to pass to Anik, our student. He will talk about his research experience and also study life in our university. Anik, are you ready?
Yes, hello. I will share my screen, so hold on 1 second. So hopefully you can see my screen now, and I'll one moment. Great. So hello everyone. My name is Anik Nag, and I'm a first-year master's student at ISEE, and I will be sharing some of my experiences today. So first, to give a bit of an educational background, I graduated high school from Pune in 2017, after which I did my undergraduate in electrical engineering and computer science at Kyushu University, and now I'm currently doing my master's in electrical and electronics engineering. So first of all, why did I choose Kyushu University all those years ago? So at the time, since I was interested in studying abroad, I was considering Japan, and at the time, Kyushu University was the only place that offered EECS in English. Also, when I was doing some research, I found that it housed one of the largest international communities, and that it was located in one of the most top 10 livable cities in the world, in Fukuoka. Furthermore, the university provides lots of financial aid to international students like yourselves in the form of scholarships and also tuition exemptions. Also, Kyushu University is one of the top 7 former imperial universities, which basically means that it is a tier 1 institute. For those who are interested in further studies, you can also continue that in the global master's program. So like Professor Tamura explained earlier, in your first year, you will do your undergraduate common subjects, and after which you will do your specialized subjects. But what I really want to focus on is the final year, is when you will join a laboratory. The idea here is that in your first 3 years, you will be exposed to a wide variety of subjects, and you should try to find what you're really passionate about, and then join the lab which researches about that field. So when you join that, you will start conducting independent research. What this means is that for the next 1 year, you will conduct some novel research in that field, and the results of that will be your graduation project, and that you will compile that into your thesis, and that will conclude your bachelor's degree. So there really is a wide variety of labs to choose from. I remember choosing around 80 different laboratories, so I could really focus on which field I really wanted to join. So what did I do? So before that, I'll explain what exactly does it mean to join a laboratory? What kind of life can you expect there? So basically, it is like a mini company where you are provided a desk, a PC, and access to all the laboratory's equipment. And then using this, you will start doing your independent research and experiments. And of course, there will be weekly meetings to report your progress, where you can receive feedback and suggestions from your lab mates, seniors, and your professors. Since this is something new to all of you, of course, you can receive a lot of guidance and help from your professors at any time. If your research is particularly good, you can even present it at a conference. And this process repeats until you graduate. So let's come to what I did. So I was interested in robotics, and there were several labs about this. And then I decided to join the control and optimization lab, where we specialize in control engineering. In every lab, in general, you can also work in English, so that is not a concern. So even within each lab, there are a lot of research topics to choose from, so you can be quite flexible. So in my lab, we have two main divisions of mobile robots and optimization theory. I'm interested in robotics, so I chose mobile robots, while some of my lab mates chose some other fields like the optimization theory. So to give a small demonstration of what I did, in my undergrad research, I focused on multi-robot systems, and I developed a simple controller for multiple robots. And in doing so, I learned a little more about the field I was interested in. And most importantly, I learned how to do independent research by myself, read some new literature, like new research, and develop new ideas on my own and implement them. So this is really what you should take away from your undergraduate research, the independence that you gain. If you want to continue to your master's, you basically continue the same thing from before, but this time at a higher level. And it is more important this time as you are expected to present at a conference, and while at the same time, you will take some higher level subjects. And Kyushu University offers a lot of graduate programs in English. So as an example for my current research, I extended my previous work and I developed a more optimal complex controller for this robot system. And I just published my research at an international conference. And in doing so, you will learn about a lot of hard skills in your field, as well as soft skills, which are equally important. For instance, about technical writing in your research papers, presentation skills when you present at a conference, but more importantly, research is not something you do alone, it is a collaborative effort. In my case, I partnered with my professors and some PhD students from 4 different countries. So really, this is a great opportunity. So to give a small demonstration of what I did in my current research, it's a complex controller which can control multiple robots and handle obstacles as well. Like I mentioned earlier, you're also quite flexible in the topic you choose, and you can discuss this with your professor in the direction of the research you want to go into. So not only simulations, I also want to use real hardware. So I discussed this with my professor, and for the next year, I will be implementing this on real robots. So the idea here is that in your master's degree, you will go very deep into your specialization while also retaining some amount of flexibility. So hopefully that gave some insight into what you can expect at doing research in undergrad and master's. And thank you very much for listening.
Okay, thank you very much. That's all from us. Thank you.
Thank you, professors, and also special thanks to Anik for giving such a detailed overview of your student life and your research work. It was really interesting. And yes, thank you for the comprehensive presentations. Let's look into the Q&A session. So there are quite a few questions for Kyushu University. So I would like to ask, what kind of profiles get selected in the university? Is there any selection criteria?
So Mika-sensei, please.
Okay, so for undergraduate program, so because our program is science program, so then we are looking for the student first of all, who are strong in mathematics, physics, or chemistry, but also the university is a research-oriented university. So the students who are interested in the research, like, are highly welcome.
Okay, thank you, Professor. And there are some programs in India, which bachelor's programs especially, which are of 3 years duration. So can those students apply for masters?
Can I answer that? So if
Yes,
you
yes,
have
yes.
master's degree, of course you are eligible to apply for master program.
Okay, okay, thank you. So besides the popular scholarships like MEX, JASO, are there any other private or the internal scholarships that Kyushu University offer?
So the Kyushu University is only offering Kyushu University scholarship for our students, but then there are quite a few private organizations offering scholarship. Then you can get university recommendations. So there are many options.
Okay, thank you. I would like to ask this question to Anik. You have mentioned a lot about your research work. So can you also briefly explain about the extracurricular activities?
So extracurricular activities, you can join a lot of circles, like there is a robotics club, a Formula One club. So these are some things you can do. And apart from that, you can also apply to internships. So I myself, I will also do an internship soon. So this is also something you can consider.
Okay, thank you. The next question is it possible to have an interaction and work with other departments while you are enrolled in another department? So can there be a collaboration between professors of 2 different departments?
Yes, it can happen. In my lab also, 2 students were doing collaborations with other departments. But of course, this is something you have to initiate yourself. It's not really provided. You have to go asking the professor saying, hey, can we do this together? I have an idea. But it is definitely possible.
Okay, great. Thank you. There's a question, follow-up question for the Formula Club. So can undergrad students participate in the Formula Club?
Yes, it's open to every student, even in undergraduate as well.
Okay, so from the presentation, it seems like the Kyushu University is mainly into the science and technology. So are there any other programs like law or public policy or any such other programs?
So Kyushu University is a comprehensive university. So we have like 12 undergraduate schools and like I think 11 graduate schools. So then you can study any subject or topics in our university. But if you want to study only in English at undergraduate level, so you can study at the Faculty of Engineering or Faculty of Agriculture.
I see.
But if you speak Japanese, then there are more options, of course.
Okay, great. Thank you. So are there any courses or programs where medicine students can enroll? Like for MBBS programs?
I mean, MBA is at the business school, but it's a graduate program. And you need more than 3 years working experiences.
Okay.
To apply for that.
Okay, thank you, professors. I think we are done with the Q&A session for now. So we're almost at the end of the webinar. So thank you once again for joining us today and for answering the questions. Let me share the agenda slide. Thank you, Professor. So thank you very much for all the wonderful presentations. I'm sure students have gained a lot of information about the application process and insight into students' lives as well. So with this, we would like to conclude today's webinar. And for more information about more universities and scheduled webinars, please scan this QR code for the upcoming webinars. And thank you again for attending today's session.